What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GameFreak. Today I am going to rank one of the best adventure series in gaming history, in my opinion, and that is Uncharted. There are 4 in the series. There are some spin-offs, but I'm not including them. I'm just going to do the games themselves. You only see 2 cards here because this one has 3 on it. This is the Uncharted Collection, and this one has Uncharted 1, which is Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. And then, of course, the third one, which is A Thief's End. Or A Thief's End, I'm sorry. And I'm going to go through these and rank them. Now, bear in mind, none of them are bad. None of them are bad. So I'm going to go through these games real quick, and then we'll rank them from which one I personally like best to the least. And again, when I say the least, that doesn't mean a bad thing, because they are all wonderful games. So let's jump into this real quick and go through the games. Uncharted 1, Drake's Fortune, was the first game of the series. It was released in 2007 for the PlayStation 3. The game follows Nathan Drake, the supposed descendant of the famous explorer Sir Francis Drake, as he searches for the lost treasure of El Dorado with journalist Elena Fisher and mentor Victor Sullivan. It definitely has an Indiana Jones type vibe to it. And that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, who doesn't like searching for treasure? This game had me hooked from the very start. Oh yeah, and enjoy your time fighting off these descendant-looking creatures. They'll creep you out when you face them in an old laboratory and you only spot them with your flashlight. The second installment, Among Thieves, was released in 2009, also for the PlayStation 3. It's set 2 years after the events of Drake's Fortune. This adventure story follows Nathan, Sully, Chloe Fraser, and Elena Fisher as they search for the Cinnamoni Stone and Shambhala. It all starts as you are to help steal a Mongolian oil lamp connected to the Italian explorer Marco Polo's doomed 1292 voyage from China. I found it amazing that Naughty Dog was able to outdo its predecessor in the way they did with this game. I knew I was witnessing a thing of beauty after playing this addition to the series. Not to mention, Drake showing he's just a normal guy by saying one-liners like this.
Boy, it's a shame you have to sit on something that big.
The third installment to this already brilliant series was released in 2011, also on the PlayStation 3. In this adventure, Nathan and his mentor Sully search for the legendary lost city of Irem of the Pillars while battling a secret society led by Sully's former employer, Catherine Marlowe. This game really pulls you in. For example, this is the only game I've ever played that made me thirsty for water when you are at a certain part of the game where you are treading through the desert while hallucinating from thirst and exhaustion. It was pretty damn crazy. Now, the final installation of this magnificent series was released in 2016 for the PlayStation 4. You are coaxed out of retirement by your once presumed dead brother, Sam. With the help from your longtime partner Sully, you all search for clues for the location of Henry Avery's long-lost treasure. At the time, this was the most realistic game I have ever seen or played. The graphics in this game were absolutely unreal. They still hold up great today, but it's hard to believe that there are games now that look more realistic. This game was a perfect ending to the series. It was labeled a masterpiece by critics, and I couldn't agree more. Alright, so there are the 4 games. Now, again, I can't say this enough. None of them are bad. None of them are bad. But if I had to rank them personally, and they're all, in my mind, they're all masterpieces. I mean, this series is great. If you've never played any of them, I recommend you do so. And if possible, I would do them in order because there is a story and they all kind of connect. So, in my opinion, when it comes to ranking these games, my favorite out of all of them is probably Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. I absolutely loved that game. It was just, steps ahead of the very first one. Part 2 is just great. My second favorite in the series is Uncharted 4. Again, this is a masterpiece. I couldn't believe, my eyes when this thing came out on PS4. I was like, holy shit, man. It looked like a movie. It played like a movie. Like, the story is just phenomenal. And there's a lot of emotions, like up and down in A Thief's End. Great, great game. Number 3 would probably be number 3, Drake's Deception. Like I said, when I talked about the game, it's the first game. There's a scene where you're in the desert and you're just struggling and you're thirsty and everything. It's the first game ever that I played where I was like, holy shit, man, now I'm thirsty. It was just crazy, but beautiful game, and highly recommend it. And of course, the worst out of them, and again, not bad at all because it had me hooked, was the very first one, and that was Drake's Fortune, the very first Uncharted. I mean, it's hard for me to say the worst because that's the one that got me hooked. I mean, it's that good. So if you've never played any of these Uncharted games, I highly, highly recommend these games. They are so good. I can guarantee that you'll have a good time playing them. The stories are amazing. The gameplay is awesome. The challenge is good. The excitement, everything about it. Just a great series. One of my favorite series of all time. So, hey, I appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel a lot. And I greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, game on.